Warning, you are about to watch the top 5 of the top 26 of 2012. Remember, these videos are my opinion, alone. And no audio and video from any of the games featured on this list were used to make it. Please comment on your personal list down at the comments section. Have fun. Debate astounds and abounds. So, let's do this. After 3 videos of intense video game battle, we have finally reached the top 5 of the top 26. These are the 5 games that pretty much define 2012. And yes, if there's one thing in common, all of these games are sequels. All of these games are big money. All of these games have controversy. Every one of them. From controversial endings to controversial fails to controversial just about anything you could come up with. These are the five most talked about games of the year. And no, there's no journey here. Here, there, there's no big shockers. These are the 5 games that people are really playing. So, let's get down to it. Number 5. Most games based on TV shows either either suck or they're okay. Very rarely does a game based on a show supersede the fact that it's a game based on a show and transcend itself into one of the best games of the year. But that's what you get when you talk about Telltale Games' episodic quick masterpiece, The Walking Dead. Sure, everything that The Walking Dead currently touches now turns to gold like Midas, and this episodic game is no exception. Sure, there are many people in the video game industry and gamers alike that debate whether it's even a game, but I can tell you, it's a game, and a damn good one. Taking place in between the series and the beginning of it all. Oh, this episodic tale is woven by deep story-making decisions like a Mass Effect, where the game will remember when you chose to kill that guy. It's not about flash or shooting zombies in the face. It's about paying attention to details and paying attention to the characters and storyline they're in. This this causes a different feeling within the gamer. And best yet, it's cheap at only $5 an episode or $30 right now. You can get it all on disc. It's artsy. It's emotional. It's different. It most certainly belongs among the best. And this coming from a game based on a TV show. How times have really changed. Number 4. Well, You knew we'd eventually get to these eventually. Before most talked about games of the entire year. And here's their order as accordance by me. Number 4 might shock you. It's Black Ops 2. Yes, I said it. Call of Duty is one of the best games of the year. Again. No matter how you feel about how much the game sells or how overrated you think the game is, or whether you're just sick and tired of seeing it every year, there's no question Call of Duty is John Cena. That unimpressionable, unmovable, but always arguable force that just keeps on winning. And Black Ops 2 is the best example of it staying on the winning path. In fact, it hasn't won this much in a very long time. The campaign, superlative. Even though I have not played through all of it, I have seen all of it. And it is one of the best written and best woven campaigns in the entire Call of Duty franchise. And it stacks up as one of the most long, too. On top of that, you have a totally reinforced, totally tour de force multiplayer, with everything being tweaked to a fine tune. Sure, there are still Call of Duty's traditional glitches, and problems, but the game has never played this well multiplayer-wise. Not to mention, the icing on this almost too perfect cake is a redone, but not redone to the level of satisfaction that one might want, zombies mode. Transit is a nice touch, and even adding somewhat of a competitive mode is a step in the right direction. Oh, I'm usually not the one to take stabs at companies in the industry, but Activision. Time to hand over Treyarch the keys to the big car. Permanently. This is what happens when you give a studio with actual ambition and numbers time to make something great. You get one of the greatest Call of Duty games since Call of Duty 4. When you want more of that, leave Infinity Ward at the door and let Treyarch just handle it from now on. Who knows? The money bin you're cruising into Duckburg with might have to grow a few stories if you just let them do it. But Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is worthy of number 4. But if it's number 4, then what could possibly be better than it? Well, 3 other games. And the next is practically the sum Call of Duty's main competition. But newsflash, idiots, there is no competition. It's just a matter of personal opinion. And when it comes to Call of Duty and the number 3 game, it's a practical coin flip. Halo 4. Now, I know what you're thinking. Halo better than Call of Duty? How? Why? Well, for one, on an aging console like the 360, this thing is out of this world pretty. Its graphics are undeniable. Its campaign, even though I haven't seen most of it yet, is emotionally charged and asks a lot of questions of the gamer while still allowing the gamer to blast his way through. And the legendary campaign difficulty is back in full force. Master Chief has not Master Chief has never played this move thanks to the addition of a sprint. On the likewise, the multiplayer modes, now called war games, have been spruced up to a spit shine. Halo's noted balance in every weapon still maintained while still having enough customization options for armor and now even weapon loadouts to keep any gunhead crazy. Large vehicle-sized maps adorn the map selection while the Forge still rings true with its creativity, now easier and more streamlined than it has ever been. Spartan Ops, although way too short for a first time outing, is a great episodic idea to keep fresh content coming in for all the Halo lights of the world. This is what happens when a company with all the pressure in the world actually succeeds at doing the impossible, keeping Halo relevant after Bungie. Number 2, Borderlands 2. There's very little words that I can use to describe this, but I'll start with these. One of the best sequels of all time. What happens when you take a game that is frenetic, fun, addictive crack, and take every one of the game's noted problems, blast them out the window, turn the funny stuff up to 11, and add more guns than Fort Knox's gun store? What you get is Borderlands 2, a tour de force of sarcastic, dark humor that can't be denied, and the ultimate co-op experience of the year. Sure, there's no level increase yet, but there's been so much DLC released at the time of the release of these videos that would drive you completely insane. Character classes are nice and balanced between each other with plenty of choices and plenty of reason to hit the replay button once the game is over. Music is perfect, and dare I say, it's one of the best written games that I've ever had the pleasure to play. It's hard to top such a fantastic new IP with a sequel, but Gearbox Software has done the nearly impossible. Not since Mega Man 2 have I been so happy to waste my money on a sequel. Let's hope Borderlands continues the tradition and lives long and prospers off of the blood of others. 25 games down, one to go. And the one is undisputed. I knew it from the first time I saw it. The only question I had to ask myself is, would the game hold up the rest of the year? The game released all the way back on March 23rd. This game has garnered so much talk, so much controversy, but yet so much love in its defense. In an industry where grand ideas are about as few as the return of the McRib, one series over nearly the decade has bucked the trend. Its third and most controversial installment owns the number one with a bullet. Mass Effect 3. Now I know what you're thinking. Why? Its ending is unfinished. It's ending. It's ending. Because of its ending, it can't be number one, can it? Well, idiots, pay attention. It's not about how a game ends, it's about the trip of getting there. And the trip of getting there has been a long 7 years. If you haven't prepared your mind and spirit to see Shepard finally kick the bullet, oh, by the way, spoiler warnings, then you are a total moron. The entire Mass Effect story is accredited to why this game is number one. Mass Effect 3, much like its previous incarnations, is a game about choice and the consequences of those choices. Even more so now in Mass 3, the choices you make will come to get you. Even choices you made all the way back in the first one is to get you. The dramatic cutscenes, the opera-like music, the way the game tries to tie everything up in a bow, from romantic relationships to friendships to rivalries to political and social unrest, it all tries to tie in together under the shadow and black hole of basically the end of society with the coming of the Reapers. And how coming together as one, we can overcome any obstacle. The game, even from its very humble beginnings, has been about the finality of how fast life can end. The ending of Mass Effect 3 proves it. With the finality of Shepard's life, the ultimate sacrifice to be a hero, and what it means and what you leave behind when you get that hollow title. Sure, BioWare may have decided to rip the final decision from your hands, but then again, death, or the end of a life lived, is not a decision that you can choose. When life ends, it ends. There's no button to make the hero or yourself live. Even though the Mass Effect universe will live on beyond this game, the stellar writing, the characters, the surprisingly addictive and surprisingly good multiplayer mode, everything that BioWare has bumped into this game makes it undisputably the best, ending controversy or not. In fact, the fact that there is controversy of the ending bumps the game up to this spot on the list. Because if the game is still being talked about now, even to this very recording of this video, because of how it ends, the rest of the game is that good. Now how's that for a top list? Please leave your comments of your top list down on the bottom. Until I see you in the next Code America, live life by the code.